and welcome back to my channel, Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney, and today I've got a little bit of a different video for you guys. So if you follow along, I think it was the daily vlogs, if you follow, or the weekly vlogs that I post on Wednesdays, you already know that I went to a dyeing class on, let's see, a week ago from Friday. So, a week and a half ago, I guess, whatever. Anyway, in that dyeing class, we created our own organic indigo dye vats, which meant we used ethically sourced indigo from a company called Maiwa, I believe. I'm going to leave a link down to it below because you can get a lot of the, you can get their indigo powder. Our teacher highly recommended their indigo powder because it is just very, it's sustainably produced and or it's organic, and she can follow the trace all the way back and highly recommends it. Anyway, they also have other stuff as well. So today so we made the vat, and so at the end of this class we've created the starter kind of, or the dye vat, which then we needed to stir and stuff every day, which I have for the past week and a half. Anyway, today I had a robe that I had made in a crinkle cotton gauze that I had tried to dye, like tie dye with RIT dye. I don't think I did it properly or set it correctly because it just totally faded. It's almost completely gone. So now the robe's like a very light purple almost. Anyway, so I really wanted to try dyeing that, and also my daughter has a white linen skirt that I made for, not white, it's like an ivory linen skirt that I made for her last year that she just hasn't gotten a lot of wear out of, and she thought it'd be kind of cool to do that with the indigo dye as well. So today I've taken my daughter and we've gone outside, and I'm kind of showing you how the dyeing process, and you don't have to use the indigo dye vat like what we had made, although I will leave the information down below for that website if that's something that you are interested in doing. It's not hard, you just have to keep up with it. And actually, after I finished doing all of this dyeing, I did test the pH level of my dye vat, and it is low, which means it needs lime. So I just added pickling lime. So it's very easy to, it's the indigo powder, it's pickling lime and fructose that combines with water to make the actual starter and the whole dye vat. So it's not hard to get ingredients or anything. So I just ordered some more pickling lime because that's what I need to add to up the pH. So things weren't quite as vibrant as they were a week and a half ago, which isn't surprising since I haven't done anything with the dye since then other than stir it every morning. So, but I'm still loving the way they came out. But anyway, we thought we'd take you through the process and show you kind of how we did our dyeing. Obviously the shibori effects, you can do a myriad, I mean, just Google it. Get on Pinterest. There's 100 different ways you can fold your fabric or put rubber bands around it or sticks. We kind of went willy-nilly on this just because these were already made up garments, which is a little annoying, a little harder to do, I think. I think going forward the way is definitely with yardage and then make something out of it. But anyway, we had a good time today. So I'm going to pop over to that, and then at the end of the video, I will do a little fashion show and show you the finished robe and the finished skirt. So stay tuned till the end. All right, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoy this one. On Friday, I think I'm going to have another Learning Fabric with Tomcat Stitchery video, and I believe I'm going to do, well, I know I'm going to do rayon this time. So we're going to talk about rayon on Friday. Yeah, and then we have part 4 of the B6358 sew along that's going to go up on Sunday. Okay, that's all I've got for today. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. The weekly vlog will be up tomorrow, and I will see you then. Bye. Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney, and hopefully we're obviously in a different place today. We're in my backyard. I have an assistant with me. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I still don't have an external mic yet. But today we're going to be doing some dyeing. So I've got my indigo dye vat here that we're going to be dyeing. My daughter and I are going to be dyeing a white linen skirt that I made for her a while ago. She just doesn't wear it very often, and she's interested in doing some tie-dye, shibori, whatever, on that. And then I have a bathrobe that I had tried to dye with some like shibori techniques with RIT dye, and I didn't set it properly is what it boils down to, and it's really washed out. So we'll be working with that one too. Now, I am using an indigo dye vat that I created. I have to stir it every day, it has to get fed and all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to leave directions down to Maiwa, which is an online dyeing shop, whatever, but they have instructions on how to do the natural vat. So how to do a vat that you have to actually keep alive, like what I have done here in the class that I took, I guess a little over a week ago now. Okay, so things that we're going to be using, and again, you don't have to use this type of indigo. You can buy indigo dye that has already been mixed and already been, you know, ready to go. That's fine. We're just going to be using this vat that I made. So everything else I think should be about the same for any kind of natural indigo dye, even if you buy pre-made stuff. This is very sustainable. We know where it was grown, so and everything, where the dye and everything came from. So first things first. Okay, I'm going to show you what we're going to need for this little experiment. So you're going to need a bucket for your dye. I have a little basket here that I'm actually going to put dowels in and set it into my bucket, just so there's sludge that kind of settles on the bottom. It's the lime, actually, but this keeps the basket kind of up so we can put our projects in here and it won't get down into the sludge. Then we've got let's see, the skirt we're going to be dyeing here in just a second. We've got a pot. You don't want to use a pot that you're going to be cooking in. So I've just bought this pot today. It's going to be my dye pot. This is for at the very end. Also, if you're having to scour your fabric, which means if you have brand new fabric that's never been washed, you can either, you can boil, especially wool needs to be boiled, but you can wash your fabric in low pH. So that would be like a Synthropol or washing soda or soda ash, any of that stuff, just to get everything off. However, the gal did tell me that if you have something in your closet that's been washed 100 times before, quite a few times, it's fine. As long as you don't use fabric softener or dryer sheets, your item should be fine, and I don't use either of those. So we won't have to do any, what does she call it, scouring. But this pot is going to be to set it when everything's done. So I'll end up boiling both things in this pot on my stove when all is said and done. That's the very last step. So we're going to set this aside. Okay. The other thing I've got a bin here that I'm going to put water in. This is what I'm going to soak her skirt in. I'm actually washing my robe right now, so it'll come out wet. I have some dowels. These are to keep my basket up out of the dye from sitting on the bottom. I have some gloves just so we don't turn our hands horribly blue. And then I've got rubber bands for the shibori stuff, and then some different just craft sticks to do the shibori as well. Clamps are also wonderful, and I actually have some that are for my, sorry, can you hear the cicadas in the background? That are for my backdrop for my camera. So I may go grab those too, but we're gonna just show you, there's a million different shibori techniques and different things, and there's access to that online everywhere. So I'm not gonna go into much on that. We will show you what we're gonna be doing, but yeah, you can definitely look into that for more ideas and inspiration. I mean, get on Pinterest, the sky's the limit. So that's what we've got to start off with. I actually got, I mean, the craft, you can get those at Michael's or any kind of craft store, all this stuff. And then our gloves. Okay, so first things first. This I'm gonna just put water in because we're going to soak her skirt to get it nice and wet so that it will take the dye evenly. I'm also gonna use this bucket to rinse. So we're gonna be dunking our projects 3 times. And I'll go into that more as we are doing that. And then we will rinse here and then watch it oxidize in between each one, which is really cool. So when this comes out of the indigo dye vat, it's actually green. And then you get to watch it go from green to blue. It's really cool. Okay, I just want to make a note really quickly. You have to use natural dye in order to do this. I mean, natural fibers. So this needs to be 100% cotton, rayon, linen, silk. There is a little difference in pH with the vat, with the actual indigo a little bit, but I'm not going to get into that too bad. Yeah, the buttons won't die. So if you've used polyester, it will not adhere to anything polyester. So polyester thread will come out white, which is kind of interesting, kind of fun. Okay. All right, so first thing we've done is just gotten it nice and wet so that it will take the dye evenly. And this is a Megan Nielsen waddle skirt, actually. It's very cute on. She just doesn't, wear it that much. I mean, it's white linen. I wear white linen all the time, but she's also almost 14, so. So do you want to do a folding technique or tie-dye? Okay.
I need to open the whole thing.
All right, so for folding technique. A little worried I'm going to get paint on this. We'll do it on this side. This is my daughter's painting
You're worried
tablecloth.
you're gonna get paint on it?
Look at it.
There's already paint on it.
On the skirt.
Oh.
Or maybe we just don't care because we're going to be tie-dyeing it. All right.
I don't know.
Actually, you have some stains on this already. Okay, so we have the skirt. Obviously, it's already made up. You can definitely do this with yardage. What we are going to do is we're going to accordion fold this, which means I'm just going to go fold, fold, and then we're going to fold it backwards. Fold it forwards, fold it backwards. Oops.
And then brush.
Fold it forwards. Oh my gosh,
Okay.
we're totally getting paint all over it. Fold it backwards. This does not have to be perfect because it's tie-dye. I mean, it's supposed to be like interesting and weird. And we've totally gotten paint that's been on this onto the skirt. We're not even going to worry about that. Okay, so now what we can do,
Rubber bands. Oh, never mind.
yeah, we're going to do this first. I'm going to open up some of these sticks.
Have a stick.
Yeah, let me show you how to do this. You're going to take 2. And a lot of times you can also then accordion fold it or triangle fold it the lengthways as well, but we're going to leave it just because, just to get things a little evenly. So we're going to take it and we're going to put one on top and one on bottom. So we're putting 2 sticks, one on top, one on bottom. This is just kind of one of the techniques she kind of showed.
And the rubber band.
And then we're going to rubber band each end.
End of the stick or end of the...
And we want it really tight, each end of the stick.
Have some rubber bands.
Uh-huh.
More.
Okay, so we've done
4.
just a very simple shibori-ish type technique. Now these dowels are just so I don't have to completely submerge my stuff. But again, if you're using the kind that, okay. So now is where it comes important timing. Will you hand me my phone? We're gonna put this in and we're gonna time it for 1 minute. So this is just getting the fabric used to the dye basically. Actually,
Oh, I dropped my phone in.
here, you're gonna be in charge of the timer.
Okay.
And now is where we can put on gloves because you do want to kind of get into all the nooks and crevices. I honestly don't mind if my hands are blue. Sorry, our neighbors are having work done too.
But I do.
So now I'm going to pull it out, and you see how green it is? It's almost like a an army green kind of color. Hopefully you can see that. I'll show it to you.
Please be careful.
Yeah, no, your dad's going to kill me. It's kind of an army green color. Well, it'll turn blue as the oxygen hits it. So now we put it in the water so that it can get nice and oxidized. Okay, now we're gonna hold it until it turns blue. So you really want, it has to oxidize before it can go in and you can layer up more. Okay, once this is oxidized and turned pretty blue, we're gonna put it back in, this time for 2 minutes. So set the timer for 2. So it's got a greenish tinge. It's going to go back into the water. The indigo is really amazing and like magic to watch it go from green to blue. I don't know that that's coming across on camera. And I'm just going back into my dirty water at this point.
Dirty water. Not clean water. Dirty water.
And according to my instructor, usually with the oxidation, about as many times as it was in the vat, it needs to stay out of the vat to oxidize before you go back in again. The sun's also creeping up on me, so my lighting's gonna get really messed up. But I'm just gonna let this oxidize a little bit, and then I'm gonna put it back in the vat for the third time, but this time I'm gonna leave it in there for a really long time. I'm actually gonna go eat lunch, go pick up my son from soccer camp, and then when I come back, I will show you the finished results. Okay, so now this has been sitting here. Will you turn the thing around so we can see?
I can't. I already stuck my thing.
Okay, I've got two helpers with me now. So now this has been sitting here in the dye for a little over an hour. This is my robe that we have all tied up. Just gonna set it over here. I'm gonna let my daughter do all of the dyeing of that, and we will time lapse for you all for that one. So now we're gonna pull it out and put it right into the water. But this time we're actually gonna take all of our sticks and everything off of it, and we're gonna let it oxidize completely out in the open, and I'm actually gonna let it dry almost completely, and we're gonna set it out on top of the my son's soccer goal. But I'm going to, I'll show you kind of what it looks like the before and after as it's oxidizing. But here's the fun part, is taking off. I also want to point out that the natural dye, I can't remember if I said it or not, but it's okay to dump it in the grass because it's pH balanced and nothing in it will harm your grass. You may want to be careful like around certain plants because it is low pH, like that could change, I know, hydrangeas and that kind of stuff, so you maybe not want to put it up in front of plants, but definitely in your grass it's fine. And so, sorry about the lighting, of course the sun is creeping up on us here. And there we go. Okay, I'm gonna go lay this out really quick, and then we'll do some close-ups of it so you can kind of see the color change. Okay, so you can see we've got like this cool kind of striped effect. We weren't sure what this was gonna do, and we just kind of wanted it to go willy-nilly. It is drip drying at the moment, so we're gonna wait for it to completely oxidize before we do the vinegar bath, and then we will boil it in some low pH water, which is basically I'm gonna put Blue Dawn dish soap into a pot and boil it for about 10 minutes on the stove. After it's done, 10 minutes in the vinegar bath. But we're gonna let it dry for right now. It'll get to a, hopefully a much darker color, or definitely more blue. All right, I will show you a sped up process of my daughter doing the robe. Okay, there they both are completely done. Well, not completely done. They are oxidizing now before I put them into the 10-minute vinegar bath, which will just be water and a couple of glugs of distilled white vinegar. Let them sit in that for about 10 minutes, and then I will put them on a pot on the stove and let that boil with a little squirt of Dawn, the Blue Dawn soap, or you can use Synthropol or soda ash, but I'm just going to use the Blue Dawn soap. Anyway, it's interesting too because my daughter's skirt was ivory, and so the color that it's kind of coming out, and it's linen, and then this is a crinkle gauze. It had a purple tie-dye on it beforehand, so you can still kind of see some of that a little bit. It's also got a crazy pattern that's coming out. I think that this would definitely be better on yardage as opposed, just you could get a much more uniform pattern with yardage as opposed to using a ready-made garment. That makes it a little hard. But anyway, this was a lot of fun. I will show you the finished results soon. Okay guys, it is later in the day and I've done something wrong with my dyeing and I don't know what I've done. Okay, so last you saw everything was shiboried and I was letting it completely oxidize by hanging out in the air, and it got completely dry pretty much. And then I was supposed to soak it in vinegar water for 10 minutes, which I did. And then I was supposed to put it in a boil some pH neutral, so like with some Dawn soap or something. It was like you could use Synthropol, Blue Dawn soap, or like soda ash or washing soda in the pot, and then you boiled them in there for 10 minutes to speed up the process. And I lost all of my shibori effect. It all went away. So like the dye was not supposed to be able to bleed. I didn't think so. I have no idea what I've done wrong. I mean, I followed the instruction. I mean, you can see like definite like tie-dye, but it's not like a pretty tie-dye. That's my daughter's skirt. And then my robe just totally turned blue, like the whole thing, which isn't bad. But I wanted to do like I got some cool effects on the back of it and they all just turned blue. So I was going to show you these on me, but that's not exciting. It's just a blue robe. Anyway, I mean, this is my main robe right now for the summer, so I'm going to continue to wear it. I'm definitely going to wash these guys by themselves if we do wear them for a little bit, just because I totally left my wool balls into the dryer when I was drying these, not even thinking about it, and it totally turned my wool balls blue, so I'm going to have to get new dryer balls. Not a big deal. I could have used new ones anyway. They were getting pretty rough, but yeah, I am very upset that I lost all of it. Like it all just filled in. Like the dye bled, which I didn't think it was supposed to do once it had oxidized. I'm very confused. So anyway, I'm going to email my instructor and ask her what the heck I did wrong. It's probably some rookie mistake. And I'll report back. But if any of you know, if any of you play around with like indigo dyes and stuff, what did I do wrong? Tell me, so that I can fix it. I really want to use my dye vat some more, because that was a lot of fun. I had a great time with my daughter today, and I hope you enjoyed following us around. Wish it would have ended better. But again, this is something new that I'm trying, so just for fun. Anyway, let me know if you have any tips below. I am going to email my instructor and find out what the heck I did wrong. Okay, I hope you guys have a good one, and I will see you tomorrow for the weekly vlog. Bye!